Hello, Internet! Welcome to Fanfiction, Contempt Theater 9002. I am your host, as always, Sneaky Devil, and today, instead of having Max and Atin, we're gonna have Zarlan and Nosehair.
Hi.
We were gonna have Lupine Horror, but he's too busy being British to join us.
So instead we've got the Russian and the American. Sorry to disappoint you.
Не волнуйтесь, я не буду пропагандировать коммунизм.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I am in fact funded by Russians, and I am required to point that out.
This is proof of collusion.
Yes, the only collusion that will be self-evident. Now, today is going to be a little bit different from the normal scheduling because today.
You got triggered.
Well, I guess you can say I got triggered. Yeah, so a while back, around, was it Wednesday or so, we got contacted by Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer.
Everyone clap for his name.
And, of course, as per Twitch guidelines, I have to remind everyone that you are not to contact him in any form or manner, as that would be considered harassment as per Twitch guidelines.
And please do not witch hunt.
Well, see, the funny thing is that Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer, despite having a Twitch account himself and being a streamer according to him, he doesn't actually know the Twitch guidelines. And this has made it actually quite humorous when he claimed I was being a coward for telling people to not contact the authors, and didn't believe me when I told him the Twitch guidelines specifically say I have to say that.
Well, I mean, the man, you've seen how the man writes. Of course he doesn't read.
Oh, I'm aware. But the amusing aspect of this is that he did not just leave a simple comment on a YouTube video. No, he sent us PMs on fanfiction.net, he left reviews on our stories, he left comments on our YouTube videos, and he sent us YouTube DMs as well, and an email. All along the same lines of the same old shit. Of, I'm better than you, you suck, I'm amazing, you're awful, look how many people like my stuff, no one likes your stuff, therefore I am more right than you. And one comment he made was that I do not let authors defend themselves on my public podcast. And the thing is I, early on, and I know some of you are newer and weren't here for the first year, I, early on, did in fact try to get the authors on to talk about their fan fictions when I was covering them. And they all refused.
There is an obvious reason why some authors refuse to come to podcasts. It's a simple logic. If you can answer, that means you can accept or not accept the insinuations about your story.
Yes.
Basically, the shield of ignorance of your work doesn't protect them anymore.
Last Sunday, okay.
Basically, you have the opportunity to defend yourself. Come defend yourself.
Exactly, and so my response to him was, well then why don't you come on our podcast on Friday?
No.
And he responded
with... No, you didn't word it like that.
No, I did.
Like that.
I did. Just after I eloquently answered his first request. His first request being to speak plainly to him, and I did so. And he didn't appreciate what I had to say. But his response was, in fact, that we are too small and pathetic to bother going on our podcast to defend his work, because his work is clearly superior, because so many people like it. So, regardless of whether he's here or not, we are going to try and read as many Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer stories today as possible, just to honor the man, I guess you could say. Because
by honor we mean tear a new one.
Well,
yeah.
Hopefully. Now, He said that if we did this, we would have legions of people bearing down upon us. And I can only hope and pray that event occurs, because that's just good press for me.
Can we get viewers? Can we get viewers, please?
So, without further ado, let us begin the Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer special.
Let us begin.
I'm just gonna link his account straight out into the Discord, because I don't know what stories we're gonna be reading. So, of course, his author's note has changed to him just generally whoring himself out on every single social media he has. Also, check out his porn that he writes.
I forgot he did that for a second.
Yeah. And then his final author's note for his account is complaints towards the admins for removing his stories that likely violated some of their rules. So, part of the communication between Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer and I was him claiming that he pioneered the concept of writing stories with the title Naruto the insert thing here.
Why would you want to be a pioneer of that, first of all?
I
For the
don't
head.
know.
For the head. Only for the head.
Check out the latest summary of his latest story. Okay, sure.
Is it the latest? Did you make them stuck up by date?
Yeah, I did. Well, there's no author's note here. Look at the... The admins took the story down because the title contained a cuss word. I don't know. Buffering the trash platform. Well, I can in fact say it is all Twitch's fault that it is buffering, because I am getting 100% on my end. At the end, dude. Okay. Birthing goals. Finals. Okay, so the author's note. Chapter end. Please leave me nice long reviews, but no flames, please. Author's note. Name gay. Body type lolly. Goal: destroy everything alive and replace it with Naruto.
There is some kind of a screeching inside my chest. I'm pretty sure that's my soul dying.
I'm pretty sure everyone here can feel the amount of just anger.
Name Lilith. Body type mature. Ah, yes, the mature body type.
I'm just...
It puts her somewhere between 30 and 90 years old. I'm pretty sure it's closer to 90. She can probably swing them around as she walks like fucking flags.
This is just...
Use them as helicopter propellers.
Imagine 2 socks loaded with powder.
Oh. Goal: destroy all intelligent life and replace it with Naruto.
And his babies.
And they're demon babies.
I don't even know what to think anymore.
Oh boy.
Just...
Hello there, Birdie. Welcome to the
what
stream
in-
of pain.
What in God's name is this?
Okay. So, I don't think we should read this story since I can't say much on it. Unless you guys want to.
You can't say much on it, most likely because it's extremely raunchy.
Well, it's Naruto, the owner of Team 7's Mystery Shop, re-uploaded since the admins took it down.
Sneaky, there is a magical button called publish just above the story. Just press it, please, so we can get an accurate list.
Yeah, it is under published, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Naruto, the Master of Summons. Oh, The story was taken down, but I put it back
Jesus,
up.
it's just Naruto.
Fuck you, admins.
Naruto, the Master of Summons. Naruto, the fucking.
Okay.
The fucking goat fucker. I'm pretty
Alright,
sure
let's do
that
this.
he'll find a way to make Naruto the god.
Of course he's
Alright,
going to.
Alright, so here we go. This is Naruto the Master of Summons, a Naruto D times D crossover. Now, are you all prepared to be wowed by his sheer writing alacrity?
I'm already wowed, so now we're just waiting for me to
Your mind's just
finally
gonna be blown.
commit suicide on stream.
Well,
pretty sure
excuse
that
me, sir. That is unacceptable stream language. If you're going to say that, you have to at least say self-isekai.
Okay, fine. I'm going to self-isekai myself if we keep going with this dumb shit.
The story
Sneaky.
is down, and now it's back up. What?
Sneaky, I'm pretty sure we're waiting for the other 2 shoes to drop.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you why there is a 3 shoes in total, but I think you'll figure out eventually.
Oh no, he keeps a shoe on his dick.
Damn, you figured out
Naruto,
fast!
Naruto times High School D times D times Fate series triple crossover, so it's already in the wrong section. Also, I do like how this is a Naruto D times D story that has less favorites and follows and reviews than mine. Eat shit, Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer. Hello, Zach.
That's sad. The fact that he has less views than you, of all people.
Yes, Zarland's here.
No offense, but...
It's up to Sneaky and how much he cares about the audio quality in his stream. I mean, have you heard my mic? I don't care about audio quality.
I mean, you don't sound that bad.
Sound awful.
Mine sounds bad.
Sacred.
What does it mean I'm here?
You
I'm
were
doing it.
extremely loud, by the way.
I can't help
On stream.
that.
Zarlan is extremely loud on stream. I don't know why.
I can honestly I can't help that.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Look, I have him already at 10%. I can't lower him anymore.
I figured out why I'm so loud. I have the Senmer's, whatever they are called, headset with a microphone, and it comes with automatic game enchanter for my microphone. I can't switch it off because it will switch off the system and you won't be able to hear me. And I have no clue how to properly set it up, so it's automatically augment my voice
It's all good.
to make louder than you. Basically, for the system, you are background noise.
Sacred gears, God's artifacts, creations bestowed upon humans by the biblical God himself in order to bring forth more miracles on the planet. They could only possess a great variety of effects and abilities, and they were numerous in general. Some were highly common, and many of them could exist at a single time, and some were less so, but others were so rare that there was only one copy of the sacred gear could exist at any given time. God, that is a fucking awfully worded sentence. Holy shit. Anyway.
This is now if I ever saw one.
Yet, some sacred gears were never meant to exist. Well, stop your right... Hold the fuck up, Chief! Every sacred gear exists because it's created by God's will. No one in the D times D verse has figured out how to create a sacred gear. And it's only a decent way into canon that it is revealed that the head of the Gregorio, is it Azazel?
Gregory, Azazel.
Azazel,
yeah. It's pronounced Azazel.
That guy managed to create, what, 2?
Actually 1.5 technically.
Yeah.
The fallen dragon spear and that thing he did by raping Saji's body. Well, not raping, but there was penetration to virgin area, a lot of trusting involved, and Saji obviously didn't want it. So yeah.
Yeah, Anyway, point being is that any sacred gear that exists was meant to exist because it's God, and that is literally the argument. Because
I'm
it's
just
God.
gonna go ahead and grab some popcorn because this is gonna be a fun stream.
Everyone better have their popcorn ready because it's gonna be a riot.
I'll go grab myself a drink. I can't do this sober. Give me, give me a minute.
I was way ahead of everyone on that one.
Well, that's because you always have a drink. You always have a drink in your hand.
I take offense to that. Anyway, the ability to why is this in quotes? Okay, so apparently this entire narration so far was from Azazel. Okay, so quote, the ability to take the soul of a great warrior of the past and create a physical body for them with all of their equipment, skills, and memories at the cost of the body being fueled by the energy of the user. Azazel Sensei? A young red-haired woman asked with a tilted head, her red hair tied into buns with spell tags dangling from them. She wore a traditional kimono, and her face was mostly impassive as she looked at a very small book. Small enough that it was maybe only 10 pages thick, and the book itself seemed to be able to fit into the palm of somebody's hand. You seem frustrated. Is this artificial sacred gear not exactly what you were trying to make? The young woman spoke as she looked at the book. The man was taller than her, with 12 black feathered wings, and he wore a black kimono to match it. He seemed
Why
visibly
12?
frustrated, because he's an archangel.
Well, why not 13 then, just to make it really obvious? Come on, my dude. If you're gonna make it edgy, just make it 13.
Well,
like,
no,
I
it's
know
because
you want to.
all fallen angels in D times D have black wings.
I'm back.
Yeah, but this is Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer. He's not actually committing anything that's canon. He's just saying it.
I mean, it's surprisingly,
Yeah.
surprisingly, he has not strayed too far off the path of canon yet. Besides the fact that Azazel is recreating the Holy Grail system to summon servants.
Besides, there is no servants and there is no
Throne.
there is no throne of heroes. Well, the throne of heroes can be argued because it exists outside of time and space, so it
But
can
actually,
technically be reached.
But
the souls of the heroes doesn't go there from the DxD world because they reincarnate. Hence, is the hero faction.
Yes, but that's true. However, the other thing you have to consider with this is that the dimensional gap cuts Earth off from everything else.
Okay, just for the sake of argument, I don't think the Great Red and the Dimensional Gap can actually cut off from the multiverse, the DxD-verse. Hence, that he can actually exit it and enter it. Hence,
Well,
someone
no,
can
I
actually...
thought the dimensional gap separated the underworld, Earth, and Heaven.
I'm honestly not sure. The After wasn't exactly consistent with it.
I mean,
I don't
that's
fucking
fair
remember
enough.
D
He
times D
did
anymore.
invent breast laser beam, so consistency
Well, it's
probably
not-
wasn't really on his plate. Yeah.
You're not in it for the story.
There is no story to be in it for, so
There's only boobs.
yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so I summon the saber. Yeah, I despise random Shakespearean English. I absolutely detest it. I want to punch anyone that uses random Shakespearean English to make whatever they're saying sound cooler in the throat. That's French.
Did he just throw up a hairball or something?
Yeah, that's French.
Yeah, it's French. We are sorry to any French viewers.
I'm not.
You just vomited a French hairball.
Yes.
Yes,
he
it's
actually
made of
vomited
frog legs.
France. That's how it works.
It's made of frog legs. And then we lost 5 viewers.
Lewis was a great glow, but nothing happened, even as the book opened and flipped to a page that was holding a strange-looking tarot card in it. Can't even
Now he's part of a cult. I mean, tarot cards is usually with jinxes.
Yeah, but I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to use the fate
class card.
Magical Ilia.
Prism.
Yeah, Prisma Ilia.
Yeah, Prisma Ilia. Yeah, class card.
Memory lasers and indeed memory tasers have been around for a while. Look, man, Azazel fell to his knees, panting with all of his energy drained from his body. It was a failure? The young woman asked with a tilted head. No, it was a success. The sacred gear is fully functional, but the sheer amount of energy and density needed for it to work makes it completely unusable. Azazel regained his breath and got back up to his feet with the help of the young woman. She looked at the floating book with a curious glance. Saber? The user of this little one here has the ability to summon one of 10 classes that the spirits fall under. Once they have summoned somebody for that class, the person will be that only spirit for the class. Say I summoned Lancelot when I said Saber. Whenever I said Saber, I would summon him from there on out. Azazel seemed displeased as he explained his artificial sacred gear, the gear that was supposed to be his key to taking all of the lost heroes and spirits in order to study their knowledge in greater detail. A more power than you have. ... Okay. Excellent editing, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer. Truly, you impress us with your stellar abilities. We are humbled. She asked as she studied the books rather normal appearance. It looked kind of like leather-bound spellbook. Oh yeah, a leather-bound
It
spellbook.
looks like
Oh,
leather-bound.
everyone just knows what a spellbook looks like, and just imagine what it looked like if it had leather instead of the normal spellbook.
Oh hey, Birdie's here.
Oh, we got some
Yes,
diversity in here?
Yes, we have new person.
We're diverse enough?
Oh, we're diverse enough now. Now
we have a Russian, we have a female, we have a Jersey drunk man, and we've got a guy from New York that's also from Boston. We are perfectly diverse. All we need now is a Texan. Unfortunately, he's not here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well,
It's a pity that I wasn't able to get drunk too, because my cat got into liquor cabinet and is furiously defending it from me.
I mean, if you got drunk too, I'm fairly certain the only sober people on this stream right now would be me and Birdie, and that's not a good thing. This is coming from someone who's a former alcoholic. That's not a good thing.
I will have you know, I am both not an alcoholic and I am not drunk. So eat shit.
Yes, but you're drinking, which usually leads to you being drunk.
Oh, please, I'm only drinking 9%. That is nowhere near enough to get me even buzzed.
That's some high tolerance there.
Well, I mean, you saw me on stream. I drank an entire fucking 2 liters of vodka, and the worst that came from that is I'm tired now.
It was certainly impressive, yes.
So how you feeling tonight, Birdie?
good.
Oh, that's excellent.
Doing a thing.
You're gonna feel way worse
I
by the time we're done with this.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be great. At least I've got goldfish. So
There
if I'm
you
muted,
go.
it's because I'm munching on goldfish. Unless you want me to munch on goldfish on stream, since you care so much about audio quality.
Zeke says, "Oh, I'm surprised. Birdie is actually a female."
Yes, I've been on the podcast before, actually. And there has been lots of talk about how female I am.
Please. Oh, God.
Sneaky, remember, I'm pretty sure you were present when Nev spoke for the first time during one of my runs.
Yes.
Discovered that Nev indeed female.
Alright, let's get back to the story, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
We have Abraham Lincoln.
We have much to go through, and we need to be as professional as possible.
When she touched it, the cover turned fresh-looking.
Turned fresh-looking.
What? The leather turned fresh-looking and colored red. Fresh-looking FTDS, you do realize what leather is, correct? The concept of fresh-looking leather is not leather. That's like saying very moist beef jerky.
Maybe he's trying to say that before it was covered in dust and now it's clean, but there are so many better ways to say that, even poetically.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about it still being bloody, still wiggling around.
Oh,
Maybe there is a human attached to it still.
well then that's weird.
Oh boy. Golden lettering appeared on the book to match her tastes, and when she let go of it, it turned back to its previous form. I'm sorry, your tastes for book reading is red leather and gold letters.
Gryffindor.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine trying to read something written in gold. Oh god.
It's actually painful because your eyes cannot properly take the shape of the letters. You have to concentrate.
As a supernatural being, my energy isn't suited for it. But the raw energy needed for this sacred gear must be unbelievably dense and massive.
Okay, question. If supernatural energy doesn't work, what he need to hook up a generator, a nuclear reactor?
What he needs to hook up
upgrade
to it is chakra. Because chakra is not supernatural at all, 100% realistic. Everyone has chakra pools. No supernatural. Scientific studies have proven that everyone can use ninja jutsu.
Yeah, I'm cloning myself just about now. 100 clones all running around town, and one of them is trying to save Sofia Myakova from cyanide and Soviet Womble. Yeah.
Can I give it a try? She asked as she looked at the book curiously. My family might not be famous or anything, but we are known as a clan of vitality.
They put all their stats in wheat from balance.
The woman placed her hand against the book when he shrugged his shoulders. She was curious to see if it would work for her, so she opened it up and looked at the different classes. I only see 8. What about 9 and 10? Azazel smirked but said nothing as he looked at the last 2 pages, which had blank cards in those slots. A secret, but it's a failure. The energy needed for it to work is just 2. I summoned the Saber. Boom! And there Saber was before her, in the form of a young girl. In front of the young girl, before a tall man was standing in front of her. What the fuck is this sentence structure? There was a flash of light in front of the young girl before a tall man was standing in front of her. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we've already had run-on sentences, we've already had mistypings, we've already had grammar problems, so yeah. I'm not exactly...
There is nothing that can surprise us anymore.
Wearing a black suit with a tall black top hat. He had a regal appearance, trustworthy, and with the strength of character. That's Abraham Lincoln.
There's so many better ways to describe Abraham Lincoln that wouldn't just give it away by you telling us that it's Abraham Lincoln.
Sneaky, I just linked the page of whoever they summoned into your Discord chat.
I think I just lost fucking brain cells trying to comprehend how Abraham Lincoln got summoned as a fucking saber.
Technically, he can be summoned as a saber. Remember that movie with... remember the movie when he was killing vampires?
Yeah, he has an axe. Is there an axe user spirit?
Yes,
servant?
but it's a berserker.
Berserker.
Bonya. I forgot the little giant blonde girl, the giant
So-
lolly.
Why not just make it a berserker then instead of the fucking?
Because he never went insane.
Oh, this
I
guy
mean,
just
I don't
hasn't
know.
played.
I don't know, man. You could technically consider proclaiming all of the slaves across both Americas to be free. Insanity. You could argue at the time was insanity.
I'm pretty sure that you need to be okay. If freeing people you can proclaim as insanity, does it mean that Christopher Columbus should be a berserker instead of rider?
Dude, I would love to see Christopher Columbus as a berserker.
Yeah. Okay, Santa Maria drop anchor in the berserker class. Oh my god, this would have been awesome. Okay, just a point. I strongly believe they actually summoned Abradolf Linkler because he died a heroic death by being stuffed in the vagina of a male alien monster. He's a legend by itself.
You have issues. The language
No, I
of
just-
the Orient, and it seems summoning me has given the ability to understand it. I see then, and you must be the master who summoned me, correct? The man spoke with confidence, as if he knew exactly what was going on and how he came to exist. Jesus fucking- I already want to stab him.
Stop it!
I feel like my sin count tonight's very apt.
You should add the implying arrow. Just do it. Add the implying arrow.
Alright, fine. Oh, speaking of which, so I was on a Discord server, and I got threatened by a mod.
Because you were green texting in a Discord server?
Yeah. And they said, you need to stop the 4chan arrow thing now. And I'm just like, you know it's called a carrot, right? It's
Do you
like,
know
no,
people just...
it's the 4chan arrow
No,
thing.
people... Okay. People just expect that to be the 4chan arrow thing from now on, and you know it.
It's called a carrot, you neophytes.
I know it's called a carrot, but fucking everyone just, like, says it's the 4chan carrot thing, because it's famous for that now. Unfortunately, thanks to the media.
Also, for Pedro, I can't get away from my Sus because we're Russians. We're made out of Sus. We were born out of Sus. We are Sus.
I don't know if there's awkward pausing or just video buffering. No, there's plenty of awkward pausing.
There's always awkward pausing. Where have you been?
Azazel looked at his assistant, confused and excited when he looked at her, only lightly exhausted from the process of summoning her saber servant. The book vanished. It's gone, the woman called out in surprise. No, my dear, it's not gone. It's just bound to your soul. As am I, and I will serve you faithfully until the time that the sacred gear passes on to the next person. Abraham...
I just realized... Are servants technically stands?
No. No, not even close.
No. I have
I mean, they're basically connected by spirit.
As expected.
And they can,
No. They're connected by the center of energy transmitting to them, so their shell can contain the shard of their existence that was copied from the original heroic spirit on the throne. They're not like stands. You can, if you want to basically think of something similar to them, then it's really hard because there already is a meme for this system.
So we have a response from Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer. Zeke's invited him onto the podcast.
Oh no! Why did you do that?
One of the most frustrating things talking to Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer in private messaging.
Wait, did he actually say yes?
No, he said no.
No.
One of the most frustrating things when it comes to talking to him in private messages is that he'll send you a private message and it'll be like 5 minutes pass, and then he'll send you a smaller private message, and then like a minute will pass, and then he'll send you a big private message. Like, he doesn't just say everything he wants to say. He'll like break it up into chunks. So while you're responding to the first part of whatever he said, he'll like send 5 more messages in the meantime. It's just like, dude, just send them as one message. This isn't texting.
This is texting and driving.
We are not worth the effort. They can trash my stories, and when they produce something more popular than my stories, until then, I'll just continue ignoring them, and I won't ever bother wasting my time on them. After all they do is make fun of others, which says a lot about the kind of people they are. Which is, again, hilarious, because for everyone that is currently on the desktop version, the web-based version of Twitch and are currently watching this stream, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see in the panels below, the link to my fanfiction is a trash can, and the link to our shared fanfiction account is a dolphin saying, "What a great day to be trash." So as you can clearly see, we make fun of ourselves first, before anyone else.
Here's a secret. Here's a secret, Captain. We're all trash on this blessed day. They can't be stands because they require physical vessels. Okay. I keep thinking that, like, servants can feel what their masters feel, and masters feel what their servants feel.
No, they can use servants as familiars, so they can look through their eyes, and that's how they feel. But it's more like receiving a report on a computer. Basically, you know how an emoji pops out of their head, something like that.
I understand it now.
So we have here our lovely story.
Thank you, Pedro.
Two-Step Goodbye, which sits at a 534 favorite count with a 715 follow count. And if we organize these chapters, let's see, reviews would be a pretty good one. So, not there, not there, not there. Let's see, let's keep going, we'll keep going. He gets an average right around here. Right around the halfway point is when my stories start equaling his in terms of favorites and follows. Yeah, right around the halfway point. So, I've beaten some of your stories, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer. My story is more popular than a good 5th of yours. So, does that meet your requirements of being a better author?
Did you tell him that?
He's probably listening.
Well, he said he claimed that a swarm of fans would descend upon us at the slightest hint that we disliked his work.
I was hearing some buzzing since we opened the chapter. I'm pretty sure I know what it is now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh. Zeeks, I don't think you remember, but Sneaky got banned from the, fanfiction, our fanfiction Discord a while ago.
Oh, yeah, I said words to one of the mods.
You say a lot of words, okay?
Sneaky made some very
I had,
harsh criticisms.
I had a very explosive exit from the R Fanfiction Discord server.
Basically,
Wait, Fanfiction Network has a Discord server?
Yes.
One of the mods was just, like, chewing him out and then not saying anything to someone else, like mods usually do. So Sneaky got a little pissy.
Basically what happened is a communist tried to pick a political fight with me, and I was having a really shit day that day because I had to tell a woman that I could not investigate or detain the man who killed her son and raped her daughter because the local police were not cooperating with us. And so, obviously I came home from work a little bit moody. And then the communist tried to start shit with me again. And I told him to fuck off. And so he went running to a mod saying I was threatening and harassing him. And then I told the mod to fuck off in a lot more words and a lot more explicit words. and then I left the server.
Very nice.
So they don't exactly appreciate me over there. No.
The point is that mods on from fanfiction.net doesn't work. They don't work. They rely on Cretins United. There is a group as such called Cretins United. Basically, it's a band of 40 plus year old virgins that don't know that there is such a thing as reproduction through sex. They think that women are used as basically incubators. They took the kitchen sprinkler, fill it with male semen, and then stuck it up their skirts. Basically, they think that's how reproduction works. And then the women are put back into closets.
Yeah.
I'm just going to erase that mind image immediately. Thank you.
The whole group of people on fanfiction.net that think
It's
like
actually
Look,
really funny.
I've seen what happens at motherfucking Games Done Quick, okay? I don't want to see any other shit like that.
So, it's actually really funny on the rfanfiction.net server. The mod and the admins, the mods and the admins are all very intersectional, progressive, anti-fascist people. But it's really funny because as true anti-fascists, they rule the server in a extremely authoritarian manner where any speech they dislike is immediately deleted and that person is threatened in PMs. I was threatened at least 8 times on that server by various moderators and once by the admin for saying dissenting opinions. And they are very authoritarian. You could almost say they're very fascist in how they operate that server.
Funny how that works, ain't it?
Sneaky. No, you are getting confused, Sneaky. This is not fascism. This is military totalitarianism. You
Yes,
just
of
need to
course.
accept that any opinion other than this is a treason. And for treason, you must be whipped or then executed if you don't change the opinion to fit their own opinion.
I like how the
Military
Russian is saying
totalitarianism.
this.
He would know best.
He does know.
Actually, I do know best. During the Second World War, we killed our own troops for not agreeing to
That's what
kill
we're talking
civilians.
about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We know.
another fun
We
little
know. I've-
story before we get back to Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer.
Just for notification, we also used the bodies of dead Germans as slaves during the winter after the war.
So another little fun story about our fanfiction Discord. I was on that
I feel like
server.
we should get back on topic.
Yeah, no, this is the last thing. So I was on that server for a couple months actually, and at one point, someone was in a help channel, and they were talking about how they were in an abusive relationship, and I sat down with them basically, and I helped guide them through it, and convinced them by the end that they are in fact in an abusive relationship, and that they should leave the abusive relationship. And then our fanfiction.net mod came in and told them that love is love and he must clearly love you, so you shouldn't leave the relationship. And they didn't.
Well, these are the people who write the fanfiction on fanfiction.net. And are any of those normal relationships?
Yeah, that's actually a fairly good point.
We do have the great story of Abraham Lincoln as a servant that's not a berserker.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get back to this garbage story. So, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer, let us continue. Blah 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 blah. Can I summon another saber? She didn't want to sound rude or anything, but having a US president serve her made her feel strange.
Well, considering she's a fallen angel and all the supernatural in DxD practice slavery on daily basis, yeah, that's a bit awkward.
Well, to be fair.
No, you see, the girl is an Uzumaki, and she's not a fallen angel.
She isn't?
No.
Sorry, I missed that part. It's very confusing.
She is an OC that Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer created, so he could have a means of doing something. What that something is, I don't know yet. So far, we just have an incoherent mess about how Azazel just happened to recreate the Holy Grail system as a single book, and
How he accomplished this, we don't know, nor do we care.
anyway, yeah. So it would be really awkward if the president that presided over the nuking of Japan was summoned to serve as your servant. That I can imagine being a little bit awkward.
What, you don't want a wheelchair-bound president to be your servant? What's wrong with you?
Yes. It doesn't work like that. The book matches the servant that best fits you and binds the two of you together. You can summon another servant from a different class, but the only servant you will ever summon is him.
So
Abraham,
the best match for her is a middle-aged axe-wielding socialist that kills vampires.
yes.
Interesting.
I wonder if Lincoln's noble phantasm is summoning... Oh my god, Jesus Christ, Zeeks. I'm not reading that.
Stop.
Barracks, you've been here. You subscribed like 2 weeks ago. Don't act like we should be happy you've arrived. You're supposed to be here twice a week, and you're not. You're terrible.
Ignore him. We're glad you're here. Thank you for
Thanks
coming.
for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
This is,
twice a
I'm
week.
pretty sure the sound of broken chain can be a better noble phantasm than that.
Oh my fucking god. Stop.
I'll make sure to miss it more often. Yeah, you know what they say when
We've
they
had
ask me
this
about
talk.
Barracks? They say, Sneaky, what do you think about Barracks? And I say, I don't know Barracks. Barracks never shows up.
Yeah, these aren't the co-hosts to fit the style Sneaky is going for. These are the co-hosts where the normal co-hosts all abandoned Sneaky, and this is what he could wrangle up in 30 minutes.
More or less, basically, yeah.
Yeah. We
Anyway.
would have had our normal co-hosts, except, things happen that are out of their control.
Well, no, Max is just a little bitch.
Didn't Max say he was doing something?
Yeah, he said he was gonna go play board games.
Let the man play board games. Board games are fun.
Literally, this is
Board
twice
game
a week.
James is his patron god.
Alright, so that doesn't matter. We're moving on. Abraham Lincoln is uncomfortable in the presence of fallen angel, blah blah blah. If you like to take my spirit form, you're what? Azazel was surprised when he heard that too. So let me get this straight.
A man who was a devout Christian is afraid of a fallen angel. Gee, thanks.
Well, I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I'm just saying, Azazel, the man who created the artifact that summoned Abraham Lincoln, is surprised at the function of the artifact.
Captain Obvious to the rescue!
Wow, you made this artifact work. What are you gonna do now? I don't know. I didn't think I'd actually get this far.
Yes, this is a D times D Fate Naruto cross, yes.
Why am I imagining a fallen angel with Plankton's voice? Make it stop.
You're what? And blah blah blah. She nodded her head, and Abraham turned into blue energy and faded away. More importantly, Mito Uzumaki, you come from a clan. What clan is this? The Uzumaki clan. Years later. Child, sweet
Your
child.
name is Uzumaki. What clan do I come from? The Uzumaki tribe. Huh?
Holy shit, I know where this idea came from! I finally figured it out. It was gnawing at me. It is from that stupidest crossover between Fate and Naruto. From Leet or whatever his name is.
Of
The
course
dude,
it's from...
the dude who writes horrible knockoffs of real fiction.
A fucking course.
I'm not
Lit
surprised.
horror. Lit horror.
The author is literally just Gilderoy Lockhart on LSD.
Yeah,
That is
Basi-
fantastic.
this
Arn,
guy
you're now
created
my
that.
favorite.
This guy created the
Thanks,
story where Naruto could recharge servants with chakra by poking them, and then makes it made Saber horny.
Interesting, fascinating. Okay.
Interesting. Please never say that again. I don't want these mind images.
This is a curse.
I'll try.
Child, sweet child, come here. It's time that I give you what was once given to me by a fallen angel, leading me onto the road of temptation that eventually settled for a sex slave dungeon. When I grant it to you, my time will come. Mito spoke, elderly in age, with a kind smile to a small girl with burning red hair. Because these details are apparently important, but the author couldn't figure out a better way to put them. She and the girl had no blood relation in the slightest, other than being of the same clan.
Contradiction within contradiction.
These two family members were not family members in the slightest, besides the fact that they came from the same family. Seems legit.
I mean, he's trying to say that not of close blood relations.
There goes my headset. Hold on.
That means they'll fuck eventually, right?
Alright, the headset is back.
If you missed it, I said that the only reason they're not close relation because they're going to be part of Naruto's harem.
Ah, yes, of course. That's right. That's what I was looking up. She has burning hair. Shining finger sword. Quote.
Shining finger.
This hand of mine glows with an awesome power. Its burning grip tells me to defeat you. Take this, my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow. Shining finger.
Please, Sneaky, never do that again. You sound like a cat that its first time experiencing anal.
What?
You sounded like a cat that was for the first time in its life experiencing anal.
I don't know why you know what that sounds like. Do you have anything to tell
I
us
don't
about
even
your
want to
cat?
know.
I know because I saw it on YouTube.
Interesting. So you looked up videos where people
What
sodomize
are you
their
watching on YouTube?
cats. Cat
It was
videos.
it was part of the video where remember I posted a video about dogs with mugworms and botflies. Basically, there was a second part of that video where some of the botfly larva got into the cat's anus.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna go mute myself again.
Birdie went to go scream.
Birdie's gonna go self-isekai.
Forget that she ever heard those words.
This is a cursed
I need
stream.
more goldfish for the emotional damage that you've caused me.
I'm sorry,
I mean, look,
but emotional
this isn't
damage
even
is
the
not
weirdest
covered.
thing I've heard in my time on this earth, okay?
Oh my god. Fucking sex. Anyway.
Fucking Zarlum.
Blah blah blah. This girl had an abnormal.
Yeah, I know you're right
powerful
there.
life
I'm
energy.
saying, fucking. Can you watch what you say, please?
Russian.
And not talk about boat flies going into a cat's goddamn anus. Can we not have that be on stream, please?
We need something different.
Oh my god.
It's always good to spread
Can we not
our
have
views.
that be the different thing, please?
What's wrong? You don't like cats?
This is a good Christian stream, young man, and you will treat it as such.
Zex
You don't
says
like
Zarlan
Don't
should have
worry,
just
don't worry,
claimed.
that cat was baptized, so it's alright.
Oh my god.
No, it doesn't make it.
Zex said that Zarlan should have claimed he was merely doing cat sodomy research for his fan
Don't
fiction.
fucking encourage this man. Stop it.
No, I
I
don't
think
have
it's the
any
way
cat
all the
senses in my
time.
fictions, but thanks for the idea, Zexus. I'll add something.
See what you fucking did?
If it's degenerate, it goes in the degenerate corner. I don't want to see it. Blah 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 blah. She was one of the few Uzumaki who had this powerful energy, and because of it, she was able to pass on her sacred gear of her own free will. It had served her many uses over the years. It had
How many?
served her...
It doesn't work that way, we should say.
It had
Cats
served
and
her...
blowflies. It doesn't work that way.
It had served her many uses over the years. Abraham Lincoln had served you many uses?
Now we know where Kushina came from.
Abort.
And it's time
Abort
to pass
mission.
it on to the next generation.
Abort.
And
Abort
it's time
mission.
to pass it on.
Abort mission. Abort mission. Abort mission currently. Abort current mission.
And it
Please.
was time to pass it on to the next generation.
Stop it!
Kushina
I think there
Uzumaki.
have been some aborts that have happened between her and
Oh my
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
God.
He has such a nice beard. It can be used in so many ways.
I run a good Christian stream for so many episodes straight. I've kept the swearing low.
No, you haven't.
No,
No,
I've been
you haven't.
keeping the compared to my older episodes.
Okay, yes, but your older episodes, you were drunk half the time.
Oh,
That
this
doesn't
is- this
count.
is-
Just have the time now. Let's not pretend otherwise.
Fuck you. You come into my stream talking about abortions. Zarlan comes into my
At
stream
least
talking about maggots in a cat's ass.
I can tell you about the kittens.
No,
and the
no,
monkeys.
no. You shut the fuck up right the fuck now. No,
Current objective games.
Okay, I'll just
Survive.
link the video.
no. If you show that video, I will
We are
actually
getting
kick you from the fucking server.
demonetized
Don't
so
fucking test me.
hard. Highest view stream. So demonetized.
We weren't demonetized already? What?
I mean, I don't know, man. Anyway, so Mito summoned her sacred gear, and its form had changed over the years into a more aged appearance with her. That's
How does it work?
not how that works.
It doesn't.
She allowed the book to float in front of her, and she placed it into the hand of Kushina. That alone wasn't enough to transfer it, though, and she smiled down at the girl. With her left hand, she summoned her own natural sacred gear, which gave her the ability to transfer sacred gears to other people. Oh, gee. I wonder where I have heard this plot before.
My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia. Don't worry. We all know the context.
I don't know, we might have to break out the big think emoji here. Because we're all going to need to sit down and have a colossal gigabrain think on this one.
Just bring a bottle of water and a big bag of dry ice. We can create enough smoke for all of us.
Hold on, I need to get a drink.
You know what to do, Kushina. Take this as my parting gift. From teacher to student, you will do great things, Mito spoke as the book vanished into Kushina's chest, and her own eyes started to close. She allowed Kushina to cry into her lap and rubbed the top of her head. struggling to keep her own eyes open as her life slipped away. Please,
Wait,
before
who was
I
rubbing
go.
whose head?
She's rubbing Kushina's head. Please, before I go, allow me to see your saber, Mito said, with her own dying request.
Why is that a
Wait,
dying
is she
request?
dying?
Yeah, she
Who's
ripped her
dying?
soul out.
When is this happening? I'm so lost.
You see, it's happening at the place time with the people things during the time period of the yes.
Very informative, Sneaky.
Did
Thank
I
you.
clear that up for you?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Good. I summoned thee, Saber. Mito smiled when she saw the bright light of a servant being summoned for the first time, and she smiled brighter when she saw it wasn't Abraham Lincoln this time. A new saber had been summoned, the saber that was most fitting to the current owner of
Why
the
did I
sacred
just
gear.
imagine Abraham Lincoln with saber face? Remove these minded.
That is a cursed image. Only villains go for that.
No, you stop that. I know what you're typing. You stop that.
She didn't recognize the woman in the blue dress and silver armor, but she was stunning in appearance. Well, speaking of saber
Stop it.
faces,
Stop it.
who is my master? Who are you? You will see my name in the book. Until then, you can just address me as Saber. Your name is Arthur Pendragon. Isn't King Arthur a man? Kushina asked as she looked at the woman that she summoned with a tilted head. Saber twitched in response, but just nodded her head, sighing. King Arthur, wielder of Calibur and Excalibur, half of the great holy swords, king of knights and great hero of the Middle Ages, famous even in Japan and known as the father of hero legends in some cultures. Actually, Gilgamesh was the father of hero legends, so, shit. All legends portray this woman as a man, which was kind of odd if she was really a woman. Okay, now, again, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer has this point completely go over his head, in that the reason why King Arthur, the woman, is still summoned as a woman, even though all the legends have her be a man, is because she never died and ascended to the throne of heroes. She made a deal with Gaia, but she was not affected by her legend. So, if she had died, as you said here, and her soul was summoned, she would be a man.
It will be really uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, no, there's a version of King Arthur as man. That's the Fate
Prototype, I know.
Prototype, yeah, Fate Prototype, yeah. Fate canceled.
The point is that the fairy dragon just wanted another waifu.
Fairy Dragon wants another waifu, indeed.
Okay, but whatever you just said, you were talking about fan fiction, and suddenly you were talking about whatever is published canonically.
Yes.
But the border between those two things was very vague. Like, you could have been talking about fan fiction the whole time with about as much sense.
Yeah, welcome to the Fate-verse. That's
literally just...
that's literally just generally the Fate-verse in general. Yeah.
Hey, we have this story that makes absolutely no sense. Whatever, just work on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Fate-verse in a nutshell. So, yeah. Alright. Heh, King Arthur's my servant. With that, Mito passed away, her sacred gear passed on. Years later! I'm so glad we're having all these time skips, so that Naruto
12,000 years later.
So that Naruto can get his hands on a book that doesn't exist. And I'm not really sure how, like, Naruto canon even operates at this point. Like, is the Elemental Nations, like, a hidden country that no one's ever found off this coast of Japan or something? Because it's
Nobody knows anymore.
It's like a Pangea-sized continent. I'm just saying that now. Like, I find the joke that it's a small island off the coast of Japan amusing, but it's supposed to be a medieval-esque to modern-esque Pangea continent. So
Look,
I'm
pretty sure so many people in this server will either argue with me or go like, yeah, that's stupid. But to me, Naruto seems more confusing than fucking Kingdom Hearts to get into when it comes to fucking canon, what's not canon. Okay?
It's actually fairly easy what isn't as a canon.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Please explain then.
Right? The anime is not canon. The manga is.
Oh. I thought some parts of the anime were canon.
The thing is that the anime has constant filler arcs. And by constant filler arcs, I mean like a third of all Naruto episodes are filler arcs. It's pretty hefty on how much filler there is. The only canon anime is the Naruto the Last movie, and that is because Kishimoto himself came out and said Naruto the Last movie is canon. Everything else,
so it's
not
sort of
canon.
like One Piece in that regard,
Yeah.
where there's like technically a canon movie.
Well, the thing is that Naruto the Last is the bridge between the ending of Naruto Shippuden and Boruto series. It's the missing link between the two, and it's supposed to tell Naruto's rise to becoming Hokage. So that makes it kind of important to set up canonically.
Yes.
Translation: Kishimoto just wanted to milk his cash cow once more, no matter how sick, dehydrated, or even decreased it is.
I mean, Kishimoto actually wanted to end Naruto Shippuden like long ago, but they just kept telling him to extend it, and then it got to a certain point, and they were like, "All right, got to shorten it. We're ending it in 20 chapters or some shit." And he's just
Hi
like,
there,
what?
The author of Naruto here. I'm just letting you all know we're making a new series for Naruto. It's going to be exclusive on the Google Alexa.
On Siri.
And I'm also revealing my identity to truly be Todd Howard by my game.
Oh, all right, everyone. You
Okay.
gotta go buy an Alexa now, so you can listen to Despacito, Naruto, Boruto Extra Large Edition.
Okay, it's finally clicked. I figured out where I heard Birdie's voice.
Huh?
She sounds exactly like Jar Jar Binks in episode 1.
Who sounds like what now?
Birdie sounds like Jar Jar. What?
Yeah, this is a voice actor.
What?
Not even close.
That's... I feel insulted for Birdie. Can I feel insulted for someone?
Yeah, you can do
No,
that.
no.
Yes, you can feel insulted for me. I give you permission to feel my pain.
You sound like the voice actor when Jar Jar was
the
sad
Russian
talking
voice
about
actor,
this.
maybe?
No, the English voice actor.
No.
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 Is this what they say when, like... Is this like the, oh, all these people sound alike thing? Is this what this fucking means? Is this how it feels? Holy
You
fucking
telling me
shit.
that all white girls sound alike?
Well, I mean...
Okay,
I
I'm
don't-
even linking you
Catch
the
me
I'm linking you the
outside,
quota.
How about that?
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's the
God,
quota.
Birdie. Oh. Why do I do this? Alright, let's keep going. Kushina, blah blah blah, you can't die. Saber's holding on to Kushina, blah 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 blah. Kushina's dying, blah 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 blah. Uzumaki, Last of Us, blah blah. I'm fading, blah 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 blah. We're coming to help you, Kushina. Blah blah. Saber was fading, blah blah. Kushina reached out and placed her hand on Saber's shoulder, and Saber stopped fading away as Kushina passed all of her energy into Saber. And they were in hiding because Clan Uzumaki was being exterminated. Alright, so
Are the
this is
cockroaches
just
now or something?
so this is just complete massive AU of Naruto at this point. Okay.
Okay, why they exterminated? Is there reasoning behind it?
Because
Fuck if I know.
reasons and drama and stuff.
Fuck if I know.
Aura just woke up.
Let's see. Then we got Kushina dying. Kushina's dying. Birthday present. You're giving him Servo Evo Canzone.
Oh my god, Fairy Dragon got himself a Google Translate. He finally discovered it. Run!
That butchering of Latin is physically painful to me.
That's Latin. I
Yes,
thought it
it's-
was Greek.
No, it's supposed to be. Because servo is servant, but he's using servo in the verb form. So like to serve, and so what it roughly translates to is to serve evocation.
What?
Yeah.
Nani?
Hi, Calvin. You missed nothing. We're ranting about Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer and his absolute inability to write stories. And then Saber looked down at the new owner of her master's sacred gear and felt her connection to her master vanish. If it wasn't for the energy that Kushina gave her, she would have also faded away. His father gave him his name. I'll give him the sacred gear. Go on, Arthur. Escape with Naruto and raise him as your son. Blah 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 blah.
I have a
So-
bad feeling.
Hmm.
I have a bad feeling about this. Since we're talking about Star Wars, I feel like I should say that.
I tried to bring Latin into my book too. Unfortunately, Latin's fucking hard. Yeah, it's really goddamn hard, okay?
Wow, it's hard learning the root of all languages, basically. Amazing!
Did you know it's
Thanks,
hard learning
Rome.
assembler?
Thanks, Rome!
I have arrived only to tell True Sneaky Devil that he doesn't sound nearly angry enough. No, I'm just resigned at this point. I was angry earlier. I'm just sad now.
Sad panda.
We are all sad.
I'm sad mostly because this meat I got absolutely sucks. So what I'm gonna do is that's the end of that story.
Oh, we're at the end already.
So I'm going to go mix myself a drink. While we all get ready for the next one, which is a Naruto My Hero Academia cross. So I'll be right back.
Okay, so I have a question. This fairy tale Dragon Slayer guy, has he read Twilight? And does he realize how popular Twilight is?
I'm sure that
Twilight,
he does.
you mean Twilight is a book about a wolf, a bat, and a girl boinking each other, or the Twilight is a Twilight of the Night as a game? As a board game.
Twilight
Fix.
about sparkling vampires.
I'm pretty sure she means sparkling vampires, my dude.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's trash that got popular. And so, which means we're thinking about it in terms of fan fiction to publish. This guy is saying that he's the equivalent of Stephen Myers because he wrote something super popular, but it's utter trash.
The point here is that the Twilight is popular because of a bunch of brainless, demented girls that think that romance is about two overly masculine dudes on steroids fighting about you.
So basically, it's just for Fujos.
Something like that. I'm pretty sure that fucking Edward was a vampire, right? Who was the wolf guy?
I don't know.
Jacob?
No,
No,
Jacob.
why do you
Yeah.
know that?
I'm watching cinema
I
scenes.
went to high school.
I watched
Why
cinema
do you
scenes.
remember?
Every girl wouldn't shut the hell up about it.
Oh right, I forgot. You're from Chicago. People there were a bit more
Okay,
loudmouth than
basically-
people
Boston.
there actually went to high school.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm
In
from-
my high school, all of the girls like would not stop talking about like Harry Potter, not fucking Twilight. Like they all like considered Twilight to be like their fucking like the series
Bible.
that either
Bible. Their Bible.
no,
We get
they
it.
were like that's the guilty pleasure for us.
Oh my
They,
god.
they read it, they just didn't admit to it. Meanwhile, here, see, the reason all the girls at my school read it was because none of them could admit, because they were all good little Christian people, so they couldn't admit that they were like, oh yeah, I want to ride that. So they like tried to read something boring and bland like Twilight.
Boring and bland.
Boring and bland like Twilight. Truer words have never been said.
Well, I mean, you forgot some of the most important words. No one loves you. You, specifically you.
And that's how we know it's actually Atin on the podcast. Everyone clap for Atin
Welcome
to be
back.
here finally.
Fuck you, my
We miss
grandfather's
you.
dying, that's why I'm late.
I'm giving you empathy, you shit!
I don't want
Don't
your
fucking-
empathy. I want violence. I
I'll
want
give you a
Fairy Tale
bloody
Dragon
knife and a
Slayer.
virgin. Atin, I'll give you
Oh.
a chinchi knife and a virgin. Will that satisfy your desires?
I mean,
Okay.
yes, I'll
It will-
just find
it
a
will
pig
be an-
carcass.
It will be an ugly British virgin.
Calvin, there, Stephen, this girl, she took her book, her best-selling novel series, and actually republished it with a pronoun change. So it is two girls and a boy, but it is literally just a pronoun change. So
Oh, so she didn't
none
bother
of-
to filter out any references to dicks.
I don't know. I didn't read it. But
Wait,
like,
are you
all
talking
of
about
these-
Sure
Twilight?
you didn't.
Wait, you are talking about Twilight or A Game of
Twilight.
Ice and Fire?
No, stop it.
I'm
Twilight.
pretty sure George R.R. Martin doesn't actually care about that shit.
But he cares about dicks a lot.
No, he cares about incest a lot. There's a difference.
You didn't watch South Park, right?
but
I
she
haven't seen
did
South Park in a
the-
while, no.
Yeah,
She doesn't
there is
do it.
several episodes with R.R. Martin. It explains a lot why the book series and the series on TV suck so much.
Why?
Because everything is incoming. Only the dicks are here already.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. She did the gender change, but didn't change anything else, and so it's the same dynamic. And apparently, she didn't edit it well because story tells that there are still passages where they use the key pronouns for the vampires and whatnot, and they look the same. And so it wasn't even edited well. She just
Now,
re-released the book.
now I got it. It's not the story about lover conflict between two vampire, a werewolf, and a girl. It's now a fic about a transgender being confused what he is, and several other transgender. It's a very complicated relationships.
And
Yeah, I
honestly,
think
that would
that's
be
an
more
understatement.
interesting.
Thank you for the sterling commentary.
You're welcome.
Okay, I am prepared. Are you all prepared?
Wait, were you gone
Jesus,
this entire
were you-
fucking time?
Of course he was
Yeah.
gone.
I told you, I'm going to go make another mixed drink. I now have a triple whiskey maple sour in front of me, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Jesus.
He's very
fuck.
proud of himself that he can make mixed drinks now.
Yes.
I'm fucking sure he is.
Sneaky, aren't you like poor?
Yeah.
No, he's unemployed.
No, see, he just gets unemployment checks from the government because it's Vermont.
And he's drinking them all away. You
Like
know,
a true
he's
Vermonter.
truly an American. Are you and your wife beater right now, Jersey boy?
No, I actually can't find that. It's been really weird.
Well,
Okay,
don't worry.
I'm pretty
Your
sure he was
government-issued replacement will arrive soon enough.
You're right. All right. So wow, we got lots of people in here tonight. I'm not even gonna pay attention to what the chat's been saying because they've been cancer all day.
Oh, don't worry. We've been paying attention to what they've been saying. Mostly Arn.
All right. So up next is gonna be Naruto the Reluctant.
Thank you,
Hero.
Arn, for keeping my job busy.
So this
Sweeties
is, as I
literally the
said,
worst.
a Naruto My Hero Academia crossover.
Oh, Nexus, you missed a lot.
Oh, yeah, you missed a fucking lot. Nothing of value. Eat dick.
Hi, Mommy.
Well, I can tell Atin about cats.
No,
No.
no, no.
Listen, 3 people in this chat have the power to server mute you.
No.
No. We are not talking about the cat. You shut the fuck up.
A reluctant hero
talk
in
about it,
training, but
Dorothy.
even the reluctant hero can become great once they find their cause. So,
No, they can't.
I just want to say that, bar none, Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer summaries are probably some of the worst fucking summaries I have ever read.
No, Sneaky, no. We have read.
Oh,
This was at least
oh,
comprehensible.
we've
Was
read,
it
no,
generic?
No, we
Yes.
have
Was
read
it basic?
worse.
Yes. But it was comprehensible.
No, like I said, it is not the worst I've seen. It is among the worst. If only because of how much he has written. He has written 54 stories. He has written over 4 million words. And these are the summaries he still produces.
I'm pretty sure my summaries are worse.
Your summaries actually tell us what's going on. Like, they aren't summaries, they're just like, hey guys, this is the premise of the story. Which, I mean, is a summary in of itself, I suppose.
Although it's not quite the same.
I have a little over 6,000 words ready for publish, and I write better summaries than this kid.
Yeah, but...
That's
Oh,
sad.
no. He's not a kid, remember? He's a male model.
He's a 34-year-old male model, according to him.
I don't care.
I think that's even worse
For
than
the
being a
toilet
child.
paper. He's probably a model for the toilet paper. They always need a hairy lumberjack on the etiquette to get the woman's sides going.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say he's a male model for toilet paper because he's used to being shit on.
Nah, he's just a hairy lumberjack. You know, guys, that's a reference for the Simpsons series. It's a
Yeah,
very
dude,
famous
I
one.
haven't watched Simpsons since 2009.
You see, that's because he hasn't
Don't
been
worry,
able
you're
to
not
afford
mixing.
cable since 2006.
Don't worry, Sneaky, you're not missing much.
Yeah, I didn't expect to. Is that a 12-year-old boy or an actual girl? That's Birdie, and Birdie is
Hi.
17 or whatever. 19.
I
something.
know. I am 19, going on 20.
Damn it.
No, you're 16 going on 17 because of a song.
I was about to make that joke. Fuck you.
You see, I'm just quicker on the draw than you. Always have been. That's why you keep losing to me.
Hmm.
In what?
Everything.
Do I need to bring up your Dota
Dota,
MMR?
CS:GO.
No. Okay, fucker. You know what? I'm not gonna bring this up on the stream. Never mind. I'm not taking your fucking bait.
But you. God, it's like winding up a Jack in the Box.
Alright, so we're just gonna keep going.
Don't worry, Jacks in the Box always win. They punch their wind upsets in the
You
face.
muted Birdie, you idiot. Oh, Birdie left.
Up.
Oh,
Birdie, come back.
Herself because she wants to eat goldfish, you idiot.
You don't have to mute yourself. No one cares if you... Sneaky drinks like a fish on here. No one cares if you're eating goldfish.
I mean,
I think she was talking more about the noise coming
If she wants to have more mic etiquette in the single hour and a half she's been here than the 3 years that you've been on this stream, I'll let her.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh boy, here we go.
Excuse me. The entire time, it was a problem beyond my control, for which I kept myself on push to talk, so as not to blare static. I had as much mic etiquette as I could.
He is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
Oh god, Jesus.
Futurama!
Why is my Discord? Why is my chat canceled? Alright, let's get into it. Eat
Oh,
this.
what happened this time?
No thanks, uncle. Find a different person to inherit one for all. Naruto Uzumaki spoke as he yawned, passing by his uncle as he grabbed a bowl of cereal. He covered his mouth with one hand, the other hand grabbing the cereal and pouring it into a bowl on the table. He sat down and grabbed a spoon, pouring milk into the bowl to complement his breakfast. He was wearing pajama pants and nothing else. He was an average height, seeing he was 15 years old, standing at 5'6" in height, and he had unruly blonde hair spiked in all directions and bright blue eyes. His skin was a light peach color, and he bore 3 whisker marks on each cheek. His body was lean-muscled, but not without small amounts of visible bulk to it. His uncle shared a similar appearance. They both had spiky blonde hair and the same color skin and similarly colored bright blue eyes. His uncle was a monster of a man, though, standing well over 7 feet tall, and his entire body was bulky muscles.
I mean, maybe part of the reason everyone thinks that we're just making fun of them is because of the way you speak.
I mean, I am only reading as they wrote it. I am just trying to be as authentic and accurate to the author's depictions as I possibly can.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're just trying to be an asshole. You're not fooling anybody.
So I wonder.
It sounds
if,
like Siri writing a baby story. A bad story.
I wonder if this guy.
Now,
I don't
children,
know what
I'm
his
gonna
name
tell you a
is.
story. It's called
Kid.
Go the Fuck to Sleep.
Oh, I love that.
Everyone
Great
loves that
story. Not enough children get Reddit.
Yeah.
In fact, at my job in a video store, there are several children that I wish I could send to a permanent sleep.
See, what you gotta do is after you read them that story, if they don't go to sleep and they're giggling, you then take the book and you use it as a sleep assistant device.
Sneaky, just for information, Aura linked a very interesting thing in the chat.
I'm sure you did.
Okay, Sneaky, I know you went to imagination camp and therefore you hate children with a fucking passion, but I think you're taking it a little bit too fucking far.
No, children are
No, you don't
just
understand.
wrong.
You don't understand. You were never a counselor there, and
You're right. I don't possess enough masochism for that.
Guys, I at work talk with retarded people all day long. I'm pretty sure my sociopathia is the only thing why I'm alive.
Anyway, let's continue. He was wearing a tight white shirt and green pants. He was holding out a golden hair for Naruto, and Naruto waved it off. Just like your father, turning down one for all. How is your morning going? Exclamation point, question mark. Naruto
it's
kicked
gonna
a
end up with
chair out
Naruto
towards
being
him.
the fucking inheritor for one and for all because I'm gonna be fucking angry.
Yes, he's a reluctant hero. Uncle Torshirino, take a seat and stop sucking your gut, Naruto told his uncle with an irritated look. The man in front of him deflated. His muscles all vanished, leaving him practically skin and bones, through traces of muscle were visible. His combed back hair became much more spiky, similar to Naruto's own, and his face hollowed out. His clothes were not extremely baggy on him, and he took a seat across from Naruto. Toshirinori Yagi. You know, young man, most people would kill to have All Might's quirk. I've raised you since you were this. Toshirinori held his hands close together. Big, and can't think of anyone else who I would trust with it more. The man
Did he
continued.
just thought that Naruto was a spermatozoid since he was in here?
Yes, he raised him since he was merely a sperm.
That's some dedication.
The man continued as he looked at his nephew in all but blood. Naruto munched on his cereal. I already have a quirk, and I'll become a hero using my quirk. Anyway, my dad turned down One for All when it was offered to him. There's no way I'm going to take something he turned down. That is...
This is actually one of the reasons why many fics piss me off. People actually accept One for All when they already have a quirk. Actually, this is the only positive thing that I see this week. Probably a miracle, and I'm pretty sure a meteorite will hit Russia soon. But this is probably one of the most interesting twists when people refuse One for All. I only found one other fic with
He's
this
gonna
thing.
take it anyway.
Oh, I know. It's just at least some refusal is interesting, more interesting than many other fics where people just accept it on a dime.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. There's really no reason for people to say no to One for All if it's offered to them. Obviously, I understand the problem that has with canon, but there's no reason for them to, like, if they're told, hey, you get super strength and you still get to shoot fire and ice, let's say it was offered to Todoroki, why would he not take it? Especially Season 1 Todoroki.
I mean, I don't know if he'd even take that because Todoroki just has a host of issues.
Yeah.
His child being abused by his father when he saw his father beating his wife into a mental hospital, literally.
Yes, we are aware.
Yeah,
Todoroki
bad
has a few
example, just take a random person off the street and be like, yo, hey person, I want to give you this quirk of mine, it makes you me, in terms of strength and shit.
Also, you'll still keep all your other stuff?
Yeah, no, I can still understand why you wouldn't want to do that, because, I mean, you grew up with your quirk. It's basically like if someone offered you a third arm, you know? And it's like, this arm can bench press cars. And it's like, yeah, but I already have my 2 arms, and it would be weird and awkward. I mean, I might get used to it eventually, but you require a lot of explanation as to why I suddenly have a third arm. I can understand why. You know,
And, like,
it's basically the difference between, going up to a one-armed person being like, yo, hey, I got an extra arm for you, and they're like, shit, sign me
That's
up.
what happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is what happened to Deku. Deku?
Yes,
Yeah,
Deku.
Deku.
Well, I mean,
Please don't call him Deku.
Please
don't call him Deku. It really pissed me off because honestly, the kid was abused. This is a derogatory term to him. And then because a girl that is above average in looks call him that, he instantly gets a first boner and accepts it just like that.
Well,
this is stupid.
Here's the thing. People reclaiming things that have been used as insults is not
kind of a thing.
uncommon.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a documented psychological thing.
It's a way to go, especially because they insist on calling you that, and you can be like, go ahead, call me that. I've made this my own thing, so that doesn't hurt me anymore.
No.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just it is a documented effect.
I'm 50-50 on it because...
I would say, because remember, she's also one of the first people. Because even
I know,
before
but
that,
the way
I'm just saying she's one of the first people who like showed any faith and kindness to him.
I know.
So him latching onto it makes a lot more sense, especially considering how his childhood went.
Okay, so here's the framing
The
of it,
point
right?
is, I'm pissed not about this. I'm pissed about how he did. No, I understand you can make things your bitch. There was a couple of good instances where this happened in different fiction and in different anime and all that. No, what I'm a good example is Mirio. His quirk was originally horrible, but he made it his bitch. He turned it upside down and he made it work through sheer dedication. That's a good example. What I dislike here is that because Deku doesn't do it, he makes it his bitch not because it will make him stronger or basically flipped everyone off and make it his thing. No, he does it because of his extremely incorporated into his being, becoming core of his heritage, Stockholm syndrome. He is possessive of his abusive relationship with Bakugo.
Well, the thing is, though, is right at the start, is how they framed that entire conversation when she calls him Deku and his reaction to it and then his eventual acceptance of it. The way he first reacted to her calling him Deku portrayed it as a name that he had hoped to leave behind. Like, he was well on his way to just being like, alright, this school is a new start. No one's gonna call me Deku here because I clearly proved myself getting into here, you know.
And Kachan peace all over it again.
Well, while he does that, it's sort of just like a PTSD sort of thing for him at that point with Kachan.
It's not a PTSD. People who PTSD doesn't work like that. No, this is a Stockholm syndrome. He was so much abused from his childhood, and because of his physical status, he basically thinks that abuse is all right. He thinks that that a part of his life being abused is
no, I don't think he thinks it's all right, because later on he tells Bakugo, not in so many words, but he tells him to fuck off.
Yeah, he does. He does resist against it.
Just once. Tell me, when did he do it? When he wasn't running after Bakugo like a fucking stray abused puppy.
Wasn't it during the around the time he met Miori? Is that his name?
Well, and there's later on, I think it's when they both. It's after the villains attack the summer camp, when he's like, "Look, I've gotten stronger. I'm not scared of you anymore."
You mean after that fight? I think I got what you're talking about. No. You see, I've got only. I don't know how to read or hear Japanese. I don't understand Japanese. I am admitting. The point is that
Congratulations,
you're
part of a large club.
Okay, I saw it in English and I heard it in Russian. But both of these times, it doesn't sound like he's basically trying to prove himself, like trying to grow. No, this is look, Kachan, I'm getting stronger now. Accept me, or at least abuse me more because I'm getting stronger and close to you. Just pay me some attention. This sounded more like a call for attention. Either abuse me or accept me. Do something towards me. Abuse is alright too.
I wouldn't say it's an abuse me more thing. With
I will
Deku's
say this.
personality, it's more of a I believe we can still be friends sort of thing.
This is a very Japanese thing, my dude. This is something that happens often.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. I heard it originally in Japanese, reading subtitles, so I will admit that I didn't, I'm not going to claim to have understood the inflections the voice actor was putting in there.
Yeah.
But the wording at least came off as I'm not afraid of you, I am strong now, you cannot intimidate me.
No, not the point. You see, the point is that every time, even after he becomes stronger, he takes the blame for everything. Remember how after the
no. See, that's as unrelated to any sort of syndrome or anything. That is purely.
This is Stockholm syndrome.
That's not Stockholm. That is purely taking the blame for everything, thinking everything is your fault in any sort of event centered around you.
This is
a sign of low self-worth and childhood trauma.
No, Sneaky, you are thinking in a broader term. The problem is this only happens when it happens with Katsuki abusing him or Katsuki doing something wrong
No,
towards
it
him.
happens all the time. When the villains attack the special
He does
thing,
have a habit of shouldering blame for things that
he
are either
completely
beyond
blamed
his
for
control.
Yeah, he completely blamed himself for everything that happened at the dome because he was like, "Oh, I should have been faster. Oh, I shouldn't have put myself in, as
No,
much
the
danger.
problem is that,
It's my
no,
fault that I
no,
hurt
no.
myself more." He constantly blames
That's low
himself.
self-esteem and shouldering blame, yes.
Yes.
But taking the blame, just taking the blame of the other when it's obvious
It's
that
the
it is. It
same-
only
no,
happens
it is
with
the
Katsuki. No,
same thing.
it's two separate things.
No,
He
it's
only
not.
takes the blame for Katsuki's abuse of him.
Yes.
That's because
It is
abuse.
a rationalized mindset of everything
This
is
is
their
called
fault.
delusion. This is called
Katsuki is
delusion.
picking on him because he deserves it. That is the kind of mindset with the low self-esteem that he has gained from the constant, disparagement from his peers. He has that low self-esteem. So when Katsuki picks on him, he thinks, I deserve it. And while you might have heard it, oh, look at me, praise me, I got stronger sort of thing, and Atin heard, oh, I'm stronger now, I'm not afraid of you anymore, it's basically the same thing in that his self-esteem is based on the opinions of the people around him because he's been ground down to the point where he doesn't have self-worth for himself anymore, and it's completely dependent on how much usefulness he can be to everyone around him.
Well, I was going to say, and the other thing to remember is, certainly while Bakugo did most of it,
You don't understand that
it's
Bakugo
not
literally
like
told him to kill himself, right?
Yes, no,
yes.
You don't think I had people telling me to kill myself?
Well, we get it every day.
No,
I was
no,
going to say,
no.
it's still possible to be friends with someone after that without it being Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
You don't understand that he literally told an emotionally distraught, mentally scarred, and severely abused boy to kill himself to get
and we're
away
saying
from the pain.
he's not the only person to have that happen to, and it is possible to become friends with people after an event like that.
Yes.
After
Again.
an event like that, I will tell any person who's told me that, I'll tell them, dude, I won't piss on you if you were on fire.
You have a different personality. You grew up differently from that person. As someone who can pretty much identify with that childhood, I can say that's fairly accurate to how social interaction works for that sort of personality in that sort of childhood.
I was also going to mention, this is just kind of a thing in Japan.
That's it.
Like, literally just go through any Japanese media and, like, the power of friendship will overcome all, my dude. Especially shonen manga. Like,
Well, that's an entire different bag of worms and has to do with the cultural influence of get along. You don't have to be get along at any cost because we all live in this shitty little island stuck together, and if we don't get along, we'll start murdering each other again.
and then America will nuke us again.
So you're telling me that Deku is a My Little Pony?
Yes.
Yes.
Stop.
Gotcha.
That was such a serious
Isley.
discussion.
Isley, do us a
Then
favor.
Birdie
See
showed
how
up.
much of that exists.
No!
This is the most serious
You
I've heard
will not
Sneaky in
get
a long
banned.
time.
I promise you. I'll ban Nosehair if he retaliates.
Just to point out one important thing, Deku, not Deku, Izuku is, you don't understand that he's a suicide risk, even at the end of the anime right now.
Oh no, I fully understand that. I'm a suicide
Yeah, we understand that
risk.
because as we pointed out, his self-worth is based entirely on how useful he is to others, or rather, I should say, his perceived
Yeah.
usefulness to the others. Because even if everybody tells him he's useful, if he doesn't believe them, then it's a null point. It's moot.
Granted, he gets a little better as the seasons go on.
Yeah, actually, the most sickening thing that I ever seen, it's him basically trying to persuade others that being abused is good.
Yes, and that you can easily say is Stockholm. That's Stockholm. Is saying no, I deserved it. That's Stockholm unquestionable.
Yeah, he basically tries to persuade Todoroki that being abused by his father is a good thing during that whole talk they had.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Todoroki was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?"
Yeah, I always write such points in my fix. That's why people are probably going to hate the continuation of My Hero Academia fic that I'm writing.
Your
Because I'm not selling this
self-insert
bullshit.
fic where you're a female ogre girl.
Where the self-insert is a banana oni, yes.
I mean, I really didn't need that mental image, thanks.
But you've got it.
Hmm?
I've gotten a lot of mental images I'm really not happy about this stream.
You're welcome.
Well, should I tell you about the cat again?
No, we're not talking about the damn cat again. We're finishing this damn fic.
You
We're
bring up the
not
cat, you
discussing-
will get banned.
You will get banned. I will actually ban you from the server. Don't fucking do it.
Alright, so blah 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 blah. Your quirk, Texas smash. He punched his uncle. Blah blah blah. Coughing up blood.
So wait, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Who
why
punched
would you
his uncle?
Texas smash?
Okay, so this story we're currently reading is a Naruto My Hero Academia crossover in which I guess the world was fused together because Naruto is the nephew of Toshirino Yagi.
Toshinari. Can you pronounce it right, please?
No.
No, he will never pronounce anything right. You are fighting a losing battle. Give up.
Wait, I'm
Thank you.
sorry. Who?
Naruto is the
Uh-huh.
nephew of All Might.
Of All Might.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to say Toshinori.
And every
Yeah.
single morning, All Might offers his hair to Naruto, saying, "Inherit my power."
Oh my god.
Yes, we realize how it sounds.
No. I'm just looking at the pictures. Oh my god.
Anyway,
Oh my
so
god, this is
Naruto
painful.
punches Yagi in the stomach, causing him to cough up a shit ton of blood. And then he raised his fist, showing off his massive strength. I might not be able to use my quirk in
What?
tight
Oh,
spaces.
sweet God, there's so much of it. What is wrong with you people?
Oh my god, what the fuck's going on?
What did you fucking find now?
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I just saw it. I love this. I approve.
Why?
The thing that angers me the most is that it's like when you find porn art, and it's like, wow, this is actually really good art. If you could
It's
just
like when you
draw
find Kingdom
something
Hearts-
normal.
It's when
This
you
is
find
technically porn.
It's when you
If
find
you are
Kingdom Hearts art
getting
on the web.
loots,
Wow,
they
this is
go
no,
in the
no.
degenerate corner.
Why
There's
no
a lot
loots?
more loot.
They are going in the
Wow, this is
degenerate
great
corner.
Kingdom
I
Hearts art.
don't
Too
want
bad
to
it's
see
of
it.
Riku and fucking Sora fucking each other. God damn it.
This is also technically porn, where Izuku is Spike. This is porn. This is literally porn.
So anyway, blah
How
blah
is that porn?
blah. You're a shitty teacher, Yagi. Blah 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 blah. You're
Actual
terrible
question,
teaching,
how is that porn?
Yagi. Blah blah blah.
If you need to
you're
ask
bad
this question, you
teaching,
don't know what
Yagi.
what this means.
Blah blah blah. I'm gonna go
Oh, the
teach
only one
at
I'm
UA
seeing
High
is the
School.
fucking-
Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna eat your hair. Blah blah blah. Oh no, I'm attending UA. Blah 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 blah. He didn't want to go to UA because he was lazy.
That's a lot of blahs.
Blah 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 blah
Sneaky is
blah.
running out of steam.
Yagi
Sneaky's-
says,
Sneaky's running out.
The alcohol's
Naruto,
catching
you may
up to
not
him."
be a blood relative of mine, but I love you like a blood relative of mine. One day I will find a successor, and I want you to train this successor to be the best successor that ever successored. And blah
That's a lot of
blah
succession.
blah 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 blah. Yagi is a humble guy. Blah 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 blah. Naruto ate a diet. Blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, Naruto.
blah.
What?
Naruto did a
Ate
what now?
The diet.
He ate diet. Don't push
Interesting.
yourself too hard. When you find the person, you'll know. If you don't find that person, by the time
He ate a lot of people.
by the time I graduate
Mom is
UA, I'll
leaving.
inherit one for all. Yagi smiled and rubbed his head. Naruto smirked. Blah 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 blah. I'll become a hero if I have to. I'll become a hero even if that means I'll be able to lift some weight off your shoulders. Blah blah. Minato, he's becoming a fine man. He's
Why
looks
is the
so much
Minato
like
here now?
you. Because he's dead.
Wonderful
Wait,
logic.
Did All Might die?
Naruto's quirk No, originally, I was gonna make Naruto's quirk wind-related, but I found something way better.
Uh-oh.
Alright, well, that's it for the first chapter. And as far as first chapters go, that made me not want to read the story. That made me utterly uninterested, and it's a fusion story on top of that. It's not even a crossover, it's a fusion type, because everyone's acting like it was just, oh yeah, we always sort of lived here, sort of thing. Fusion stories are 99% of the time absolute garbage.
This world has been connected. Sorry.
It's a romance
Sorry, I
adventure
apologize.
story somehow at 190k words. It's 2 books of romance adventure for My Hero Academia, where Naruto just becomes the god guy and saves the day because he's so strong and powerful.
I have a question about this last author's note. Something Gwen related. Okay, I don't even watch that much anime, and I know that Naruto's quirk would be clothes. Like, you don't have any other choice with that.
Well, you can make
No,
something
to be
akin to
fair,
a
it could be
cubicon.
changing his gender.
Yes, that's a perfect quirk. A perfect
What's
quirk.
your
for sure.
quirk? My quirk's called Ranma 1/2.
My quirk is my quirk is 1A press. It's just called half A press. It allows you to move through dimensions.
Anyway. So, that is going to be all for today. I know we only got through 2 stories, but that's really all we had time for.
That's really all you want to hear about from
the triple
Fire
whiskey is
Dragon
hitting me
Slayer.
pretty hard. I only had an entire Scotch glass of it, so.
Okay, why is the ending screen just T-Series and PewDiePie?
Why
Because
is
you should
T-Series past
subscribe to
PewDiePie?
T-Series.
Somebody told me this. I am very sad.
Since everyone apparently does the opposite of what I say, go subscribe to T-Series.
Give Nose Hair all of your money.
Yes, please. I would enjoy all of the money. Also, come to my stream tomorrow, you fucks.
Yeah, that's right. Noah's Hair does a stream on Saturdays where he plays video games. Can't
At
say
5
video
p.m.
games.
sad at him.
I'm playing Darkest Dungeon, and I'm dreading every moment of it.
Let's
Do you want
see
to-
what
somebody-
else.
Does someone want to play Green Hell?
If you feel like chilling out in the Discord, the links can be found down below. Everyone that appeared in this stream can be found in the Discord. We have a
We
large
promise we
selection
won't
of
ban you.
authors. Well, it's very easy to not get banned from my server. All you have to do is not be a communist.
You will, however, still be subject to censorship
Yes, you will be
at the
sent.
discretion of the mods.
Don't post porn in Gen.
Please don't post porn. It's
No,
the
no,
one
no.
thing we ask about.
That's the bannable offense. That's it. That and communism.
Don't post porn, don't post communism, and you should be fine.
Don't post communism.
And if you ever post communism porn, you will just be permanently banned.
No. Feel free to post lewd images directly to Nose Hair of Stalin. Go ahead and do
No.
that.
No, do not.
Anyway,
I assure
Yeah.
you,
Negative,
you will be.
positive.
I assure you, 3 of the 4 mods will protect you.
So anyway, Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, I hope you paid attention to at least a fraction of what we said here, because you might actually learn something in our long, unrelatable tangents we had with each other, talking about such things as canon, non-canon, things completely unrelated to anything we were previously talking about. You know, because you
And
seem to
things
be
that
a
should never
fairly
be repeated in
empty-headed
polite
fool.
company.
Cats.
Now,
Shut
yeah,
up.
Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer did, however, say that if anyone ever has a problem with him, he does want to be told it. And he prefers it when people come to his face and tells him these things. I actually have it in written writing from him saying that.
Actually,
Now, we're
just
not
for
saying that
information,
you should go and yell at him for being bad.
No.
Don't do
In
that.
fact, we are explicitly telling you not to do
As
that because
per
that is
Twitch
harassment, you
guidelines.
idiot.
Do not do that.
I said that. I
But-
said don't do that.
Yeah, but you sounded like a
did, in
sarcastic
fact,
twit.
give permission. So,
Oh.
we are
I apologize
here
for sounding like an asstat.
every Tuesday and Friday. We do this, well, not this specifically, but we cover fan fiction. We talk about canon stuff. We talk about future stuff. We talk about games. We talk about a whole lot of crap here. Sometimes you learn things. Sometimes you wish you didn't learn things. It's a fun old time. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single damn Tuesday. Every single damn Friday. Because remember, there is always more, and it always gets worse.